Hello, hello. We are live here from Alachua. The Joe Live Show is back for your entertainment. It looks like we are at the World Report right now. So we have a great new background. What do you think? I like this background. The Fiesta Media, they set us up right here. If you want to do a live show, talk to Elio. He can get you set up. Fiesta Media, look them up because they are awesome. Show is brought to you by the Alachua Chamber of Commerce, the Digital Mortgage Guy, that's me, and also the Alachua Optimist Club. So that's a great service organization. Just want to let you know about that. Growing fast, looking to do a lot of good things for the community, and I'll show you something about them in just a little bit about what they did. So want to roll into some stuff about Alachua. Wanted to go in and talk a little bit about what's going on in Alachua, a couple of quick announcements that I think some folks need to know. One is there's a show coming on. It's called The Wiz, and it's going to be at Legacy Park, and it is an amazing show. I know one of the actresses that's going to be in it, Alex. So you need to go see that. That is going to be January 30th. And if you want more information, just message me back and I'll get you more information on how to get involved in going into that show, because that is an awesome show. Also, the Champagne Gala is coming up in February, and my guest, one of my guests today, his dad is actually going to be dancing in that. I danced in that a few years ago. It's a lot of fun. So that's February 13th. That's coming up. And then also the Alachua Car Show is coming up during the Gator Nationals on that Saturday in March. We'll have the date for you coming up. And that'll be right after the Gator Nationals, starting at 5 p.m. through the evening. So that's going to be an awesome event. It always is. If you want to see some awesome cars, we have brought back the Gator Nationals Car Show. So that is in planning phases right now. So that'll be starting up, and you'll be able to see that as well. So what I mentioned about the Optimist Club earlier, I wanted to mention one thing that they did at the MLK event this past week on MLK Day. They were there, as you can see over here next to me, the picture of things that they had for the kids to color and create. And what they're going to do is create a banner. It's called a Unity banner. And all the information from the kids is all going to be put on that banner, and we're going to have that displayed hopefully up in City Hall. So the Optimist Club is a fast-growing organization. Their goal is to bring positive message and improving kids' lives in our community. And all the money they raise in our community stays in our community. So if they raise $40,000, $40,000 goes right back into the community for community events and helping our people in our town. So that's the beauty of the Optimist Club. So if you want to get involved in that, reach out to me or go to, I believe it's alachuaoptimist.com. You can see them there, or just look for Optimist of Alachua on Facebook and you'll find them there. So I got two more things to hit on, and then we'll get to our guest. So since the Digital Mortgage Guy is the sponsor of the show, I do have a viewer question. So I wanted to touch base on a quick viewer question. So, and I actually have notes. Brought my iPad. I'm set. I'm prepared. So the question was, I want to buy an investment property, but I don't have a lot of money down. So what can I do? Well, the challenge you're going to have there is in the mortgage business and in the mortgage lending, typically for an investment loan, you're going to need 20% down. It's typically what you're going to need there. However, there is one route you could take if you're a first timer. So FHA is not an investment loan, but if you look to buy a property that's a 2-unit, 3-unit, or 4-unit, you could buy it, live in one unit, and rent the other one. So this could be your first way into an investment property. So this might be a way for you to get into investment homes and starting out with some multifamilies. And then eventually you might be able to buy multifamily properties in the long run and work with Bo buying them. Bo Berry's the guy when it comes to that stuff. So my mortgage tip of the week, really quick, is about USDA. And this is going to be brought to you by an amazing realtor right here in Alachua, Joan Soroka. If you want to buy a property in Alachua, you need to talk to Joan because she will set you up and take care of you and know how to negotiate deals properly for you. So the beauty of USDA in Alachua is there's no money down. There's no money down on these deals. The mortgage insurance is extremely low, and there is the only restriction really is area based, which Alachua is covered, and the other is just an income limit. So as long as you don't make over, I think it's $82,700 a year for a two-person family, then you're going to be good to go. So the other beauty is there's no limit to how high that loan can go, as long as it's within the debt ratios of the $82,000. So this loan is awesome. The seller can pay your closing cost. There's no money down, so it's a great way for you to purchase a home. A lot of first-time home buyers use this product to be able to get into a house with no money out of pocket. So that's our tip for the week. I wanted to roll into all of our stuff. I'm going to hit you one last thing. My shameless plug. I got to do this every single week because I'm trying to build subscribers for my YouTube channel. I want to get to 1,000. I have 30. All right, I need you to go to YouTube and type in Digital Mortgage Guy. Go there, subscribe, and I can reach to get 1,000 subscribers. So that's my ultimate goal. If at least I get there, then I'm hitting more people. The beauty of my YouTube channel is quick and easy tips for the mortgage tips. So you go there, it's not going to be long, drawn out stuff. You want quick and fast answers, they're all on there. I keep them really short and to the point. So go there, Digital Mortgage Guy, that's my plug. All right, I'm going to go in and introduce my guest today. And this guy is an amazing guy. Let me tell you, the work he's done, you've seen his work and you don't even know it. I'm going to tell you that right now. He does great video production. And by the way, the intro he did not do, I did that, and that's why it sucks. If he did it, it would be a lot better. So we're going to be probably having him take care of us, so it's a lot better. So I wanted to introduce to you Noah Wilburn. He is with I Am Creative, and you are creative. Extremely creative.
I like to think so. I like to think so.
I mean, your work. I've seen your stuff and the stuff you do. You produce stuff for Bo Berry, who is killing it on YouTube, which I'm trying to catch up to him. And so you do, and you've done work for a multitude of other people, lots of other people. And so I wanted to get you on the show because I felt your knowledge that you have in digital marketing, video production, and all the other stuff that you're doing, people needed to know, the ones that because there's a lot of production you're doing, and whenever you do production and stuff, just like Fiesta Media, you're behind the scenes, so people don't see you. So they don't know that it's actually you. So say I'm making these videos and they look great, and oh, Joe, you're really good at these videos. So it's actually this guy. You know,
I was gonna say too, your video, the intro or whatever, it wasn't bad. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't bad.
Was it bad?
Like
I take it as a compliment.
It made sense. You know what I mean? So like I've seen a lot more interesting video than so good job. Is what I'm trying to say.
Hey, there you go. See,
I think you should give yourself more credit.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Well, you know, I mean, and that's the thing. Bringing someone like you that knows how to actually do it. It knows how to edit properly. You know, I'm on Caden Live and I'm working on. I got to figure this thing out, and I'm doing it in 10 minutes because I got to get it to Elio because Elio's, you know, he makes sure things are done on time, and I feel bad for him because I'm like, hey, if we're 2 minutes away from the show, how about if I add this? And he's like, okay, let's get it done. And so yeah, having someone like yourself that can say, hey, here's how we're going to roll it through. We're going to produce it right. We have the right lighting. Everything's going to look good. And kind of like the director to make sure, hey, walk this way. You don't look right walking that way. Let's do this. Or that's not really going to, you can give the input that people need.
There's a lot of technicalities and these little details that people don't, that you would never know if you weren't in that industry, if you weren't in that space all the time. You know, so it's like it can be. So some people, they'll see a video, they'll be like, oh, you know, 10-second commercial, you know, should be like $10 that I can give you, you know, And I'm like, oh, well, listen. And then, but usually people learn, you know, once they're in the actual production, like, oh crap, okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot into it. I mean, you know, because I've done a lot of my own stuff, and it takes a lot of time. You sit there, I would make a video, and I edit it for 5 hours, you know, trying to make it work, and then, you know, my computer's processing because you've put too much media in it, you don't have enough memory, and then you go, well, I got to work.
It's like
I'm making this video to get work done. So bringing someone like yourself in that actually can do that, that's your job. That's what you're good at. And I love the name. I Am Creative.
Yeah.
How'd you get that?
So interesting enough. So around, I want to say a year and a half ago, I'm sitting with my dad, and you know, we're you know, I'm a believer in God and everything. So, you know, we're having our Bible study, our men's group, and you know, so he's sitting there, and it was before I started anything business. It was just kind of like freelance. I was hustling and whatnot, and so I was sitting there. He was like, "Man, you know, Noah," because at the time it was Wilburn's World. That was my thing, and then he was like, "Man, you should call it," because I was doing photography too. He's like, "You should call it I Am Photography." I Am Photography. I'm like, I Am Photography. I was like, it's a nice catch. And he was like, yeah, the I am, you know, it's for, you know, because, you know, God says in the Bible, it's like, I am that I am, you know. And I was like, it's good, right? So fast forward a year and a half or so later, you know, I'm sitting there. I've just been told that in order to get this job, I have to create an LLC. I got to create a business. I had no intentions or plans on doing that. And which is another crazy story. But so I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, what am I going to call this thing? You know? And I'm like, well, it's like, oh, call it I Am Photography. But I was like, no, because I don't think I'm going to stick with photography. So I was like, oh, why not? What is photography, videography, graphic design? Like, what is all that? It's like, it's creative. So I was like, oh, I'll call it I Am Creative, because it's a statement of who somebody is, even if they don't realize it, which is what we've been doing since day one, helping people realize like the potential and what they can actually do. Yeah. And then, but then it also points back to who he is. So I was like, it's called I'm Creative. Why not?
I like
you know what I mean?
It's a deeper meaning.
There's a lot
more. Yeah, it's just. I mean, I love the name. I just, you know, because it makes a statement. Because, and you put a lot in thought into that. That's really impressive. Actually, I like how you came up with that name. That's really cool. Because I mean, I was coming up with my name. I was trying to figure out, you know, what my positioning was, especially with COVID and everything else and going digital.
Yep.
I do a lot of digital. So a lot of people I deal with are all digital, and we never really see them. But then we built the office to be really friendly for people in Alachua to come in, because a lot of people still want to do the face-to-face. So try to cover it all. But I mean, that name, I wanted to hit on that right away, because I thought the name, and whoops, there's my mic. I got to quit moving.
Yeah.
So the name is awesome, and you were born and raised here.
I was. Yeah. Yep.
So,
I was born at Shands.
Yep. I was born in Alachua General.
Nice.
Which is no longer there.
Okay.
So just to give you
makes sense. Give me some perspective.
So yeah, I mean ACR is here. So
100%.
You know, but that's the beauty too. Is I never left. You've never left here. I mean, we've traveled, but we've never left. And the reason is we like our community.
You know, it's crazy. I actually almost moved to Atlanta.
Did you?
When I was, this is 2019, I think. I got a job offer. I was on Indeed. I was doing my stuff, probably BSing a lot of the things. So it's, oh, hey, look, I was like, whatever. And so they offered a job out in Atlanta. And so I drove all the way up to Atlanta for the interview.
6
Off a whim.
hours.
Yeah, off a whim. And got there, and like something, like for me, there was always like, ever since I can remember, there's always been like this passion, this fire, this like sting that like drives me. And as soon as I walked into that office in Atlanta, it was just like, whew, it was just gone. And I was just like, I'm not supposed to be here.
No, I mean, you know it sometimes.
Yeah.
You can feel it. And I think you made the right decision by creating your own. And with I Am Creative, because you are creative and you control what you're going to do.
Yeah, 100%.
You're not going to be in this dictative situation, you know.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, it's definitely, you know, I would have never thought that we would have been here. You know what I mean? Like, I always looked at, and this is something, and I guess this could be the first thing we talk about, but like this is one thing that I feel like stops a lot of people from doing what they want to actually do, is they see what has to be done in like the entrepreneurship world, and they're like, oh man, I don't know if I can do all that. You know what I mean? It's a lack of self-confidence and knowledge, and so you know, like for me, I went through the same thing. It was just a lot of going back and forth and like, well, I need security, you know, security, right?
It's scary.
Yeah, 100%. But and then, you know, you get into it and then you get into like the everyday, you know, thing of just like, oh crap, like I gotta survive. Like I can't, failure is not an option at this point. And
I gotta make it.
Yeah,
period.
100%.
You
Yeah.
know, and don't go in a lot of debt.
That too, which I have thankfully avoided.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're all good. I would say the only debt is that I think I made the mistake of not counting my pennies and trying to pay people as much as I could.
Yeah.
And that always ends up hurting you in the end. But
no, I mean you want to give people what they're worth, you know, but and try to do the best you can. But then you also got to be aware of the bottom line that this thing's got to live for you to be able to, you know, if you want to pay someone. I made that mistake a long time ago. I had a business back in the 90s, and one of the businesses I had, and we kind of overpaid everybody, and our bottom line was struggling. And we were overpaying people that didn't need to be overpaid. So then when I finally restructured it to where it was performance-based, then it changed.
Right.
Because then all of a sudden, they could make a lot of money because I felt like they deserved it. But if we were just constantly giving the money out, we saw it was going down.
Yeah.
And then also, we wouldn't survive, and then they lose in the end anyway. Your employees are going to lose because you're going to be shut down because you can't afford them.
100%.
So
oh yeah.
you gotta, you know, it's all about a balancing act, and that is just a learning curve there, you know. But when did you start your business?
So I started February of 2020.
Nice.
Right before the pandemic.
And you're.
Yeah.
But you've been able to still acquire some good clients and do. I mean, you've done growth, and you're aggressive. I mean, you put out there you want Morgan and Morgan.
You would know.
I mean, that's aggressive to say. I want Morgan and
yeah.
Morgan. You know, they have a huge ad agency. They have all this. And you're like, I'm going to come in.
Oh,
there.
you're talking about the Facebook post. Yeah.
I mean, that's aggressive.
I am very, so one of the things that I've learned, so like for me, like who I am or who I was, I'm sorry. I was a very timid, shy, not so like, I was outgoing, but like I wasn't very a go-getter. Like I wasn't like that. And what I learned is if I was going to continue to be like that, you know, going forward with what I wanted to do, I was not going to do anything. So I had to really, and actually it's funny because the switch kind of turned on for me when I remember there's this one day, I think it was back in like March of 2020. So it was like a little bit after I started. And I'm sitting there at the table, you know, I just got the LLC and everything, and I'm just like sitting there, I'm looking at everything, and I'm just like, okay, what now? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, I guess I got to just start calling people and texting them and all this stuff. And that's what I did day in, day out. I still do, you know. But yeah, so that's kind of like where the switch turned on for me. So now, but what I've realized too is that people aren't so much, once you like focus on the relationship with a lot of people over time, you can just ask for something and people will give it to you. Not because, because of like you're good at what you do because you've proven yourself, but also they just like you. You know what I mean? So like, and they'll do anything to help you. So I look at like agents or big law firms or whatever, like Morgan and Morgan or Meldon or whatever, and I look at them, I'm like, they're huge. We're super small, but it makes no difference to me. You know what I mean? Because it's like we believe in what we do.
Set your goal up and go for it. That's. I've always believed in just no matter what, push forward. No matter what is coming on, just push forward. And it's helped me grow over time and get to a better position in my life. And so you're doing the right thing. And that's the thing. I see people sometimes they'll put a ceiling on themselves and say, like using the Morgan & Morgan example, even if you don't obtain that right away, it's like, I'm going to go for that. Doesn't mean I can't get clients to that level in the future. Yeah. And it's just not setting that limit of saying that's impossible. There's no way I can get there. I'll never get that meeting. Doesn't mean you can't get that meeting. When I wanted to get involved with racing and stuff, I started networking with top level pro drivers, and all of a sudden I started talking to them, I started meeting them, and started being able to get connections and getting into the pits and doing all these things. So it was not like they weren't, you know, social media has made it easier because now you can 100%. Really connect. You know, so and that's the beauty of your business in the digital platform, that you're able to help people with the digital platform to be able to get out there and meet more people. Like this show, I can expose myself to a lot of people. I can expose Alachua to a lot of people, and you know, with what you do, you can help people that say are a little bit say they're timid to get in front of the camera, or they're timid to know about even just doing digital marketing, for example. Maybe not necessarily putting yourself in front of there, but putting your business in front of it, and maybe putting other people in front of the camera.
And it's because so like people see digital marketing. They see, oh God, I got to get in front of a camera. Like, man, I turned. Hopefully he doesn't mind me saying his name, but I turned. So Brad from Youth Mover Guys, like before we started working with him, he was very just like. He was like, man, I don't know about the camera, you know what I mean? But man, like in the span of like 3 months, we turned him, you know, he a natural. Probably, I even say he might be better than me at this point. Like when it comes to like saying something to record in front of a camera or whatever, he might be better than me because he gets it done in like one shot.
One shot?
I mean? Yeah, one shot.
Oh, wow, that's great.
But the thing is like, I encounter that all the time where people are like, oh, I don't want to get in front of the camera, blah, blah, blah. And for me, like the culture that I've installed, so I have 8 people on my team. So, you know, there's a little group of us. And the culture that I've like installed in our team is that straightforwardness, honest, relationship driven. You know what I mean? And so it's not just me that tells these people like, hey, look, you know, you got to do this, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm very honest, I'm very straightforward, but it's also my team. So that kind of helps too when you have a bunch of people, not just one person say, hey, look, it's going to be okay. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is going to help you. It's not going to hurt you, you know, and you got to get over your, and, you know, and so that, you know, having that teamwork of not, I wouldn't say, I guess convincing people that it's going to be okay. It really does help.
It is. When I would do training with loan officers on how to do video. And so I just set a camera in front of them, say talk, and they go, what do I say? I said, just talk normal. And over time, they just got used to just talking and saying, oh, you know, because some of them, in my world, it's all about, you got to be video, you got to get it out there. And so many of them are just timid. I just say, pick up your phone, don't care about the quality, and go live and just start talking.
So you want to start talking about quality. So, you know, with and I might nerd out a little bit, so forgive me. But maybe that's why I'm here, right? Yeah. So
we're talking my language.
Yeah, exactly. So 2020 COVID, it brought out, you know, it brought a new perspective on marketing, right? So everybody was spending like millions of dollars on this high quality video, but then people realized, you know, people had to stay at home, people were stuck to their phone, all this stuff. And then it showed, you know, COVID showed, hey, look, you know, I see the advertisement, but it's personal. You know what I mean? And by personal, it's not like a high quality production. It's just something that I can do, that somebody that the business or the person who owns the business, it's something that they do just on their phone.
Yeah.
Right. And so like my encouragement to a lot of people is, and this is part of our process, like we'll sit down with people and like we'll evaluate them because, you know, I'll talk to everybody, but I won't work with everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes people.
Smart decision, by the way.
100%. Because people think that, oh man, I got to spend like $3,000 on a video production and $5,000 and I'm like, I don't think you do. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think you're there yet. You know what I mean? And so, because at the end of the day, it's not about the quality of the production, or honestly, it's not even about how much you spend or whatever. You can run an ad off a video that you set up here, and then you're just talking to the person, and it'll perform way better than something like this. You know what I mean?
I've had just basic stuff that I've done that has taken off. So my TikToks have gone crazy. You know, the Hitman one, latest one, has done really well.
That made me laugh. I died. I was telling them earlier. I was like, man, that thing killed. I was sitting in my car. I think it was like I was going to get my brother or something, and I just happened to be waiting for him, and saw it and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that's Joe. When I died, man, that thing, I don't know what it was. It was funny.
You know, that's the thing. You got to, like, when I first did some of the TikToks, which are silly and stupid if you haven't seen them, they're dumb. But a lot of people, I was nervous that a lot of people would kind of would be like, oh, he's being too silly. I don't know if I want him to do a mortgage for me because he's kind of a moron on these things. And so, but what I found is 15 years or 15 seconds people would give me, and I would do all this production on a 1-minute video, and I'd get a few views, and then I did these 15-second TikToks and share them out. And all of a sudden, I'm getting thousands of views, and then I'm getting loans and getting people connecting and getting people. And I was like, wow, people actually like. And I found, you know, I like humor, and I think, in my perspective in advertising, if you look at Super Bowl ads that are funny, they're the best performing ones. And I like funny, and people are like, well, how can you be funny if you're not funny? I'm not saying I'm funny, but I like humor, so I think of things that might make people smile. Not everything's going to work. But I just feel that especially in today's world, everybody's wanting to smile.
There's a big, so like the way, how do I say this? With advertising, you know, you have different types of content for different purposes. And, you know, honestly, like our job is just to decipher what the purpose is and then just match it with the type of content you got to create. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, so again, you know, for you, you know, humor is definitely the best way to go. You know, I think people look at somebody in the mortgage industry and they'll say, yeah, okay, you know, he probably knows what he's talking about, this and that. But you get somebody that disrupts everything that has to do with mortgages and pretty much people looking at it as like boring stuff.
Yeah.
You take something like that and you switch it on everybody, and still, and you're humorous, but you're still able to communicate, hey, like I know what the heck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know,
you
know, you break everything.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to make this a mortgage show, because it bored the daylights out of people.
100%.
You know, bring people like you on that people can actually engage with.
Yeah.
So we are at the end of the show. So,
that was quick.
Yeah, no, 30 minutes flies.
Wow, that was actually really quick.
It flies by when you're going fast, but we try to keep people happy.
100%.
But I am creative. You need to get in connection with this guy. Dang, man, I keep hitting the mic. Get connected with this guy if you want to have some production done, because he does some really good work. Go to his website, check it out. We're going to be working together and get some stuff done.
We're not just a business, we're a statement. Let us help you create yours.
I like that. Way to end that.
I know, right?
Like,
that was kind of good, right? Yeah.
All right, well, that was a good show, people. And
thank you for having me.
Looking forward, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got to get your dad on here about his Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, I got him. Pray for my dad, too. Pray for his neck.
I heard,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's pray.
Yeah, it's tough. That dancing is no joke. I did it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's no joke. I would love to do it, though, again.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't raise any money. No one's going to follow me. Your dad's
we'll change that. Don't worry. We'll talk after the show.
All right. Well, again, see you guys next Thursday at 10 a.m. sharp, because Elio keeps us on a sharp schedule. And if I don't do it, he's nice, but he's going to whip that thing on you. You got to make sure you do what he tells you to do, or, you know, it's serious.
Hey, Elio's a man, man.
Yeah. All right.
All right, people.
Thanks for watching.